Welcome to ERP Bugs. So today's session is all about the enterprise resource planning, an overview, what exactly the enterprise resource planning is, ERP is, who should do, who can do, what you can achieve through ERP, everything. It's a kind of counseling session or kind of eye opener session for those who have not yet started looking into ERP as an career or as a skill set. So we'll see whether you can make it as a career or you can add ERP as a skill set. So first, before we get into the detail of ERP system, first we will understand what is the objective. So after this session, you will have knowledge on ERP. You can understand what career opportunities you have in ERP. If you are already working, if you are already a professional practicing or owning certain functions in an enterprise, then how you can grow with your ERP skill set. Then increase if you are already a ERP consultant or ERP practitioner, how you can enhance your competency. Then obviously personal benefit, because ERP is not only for employment or career opportunity or something. It streamlines your lifestyle. Even a housewife can learn ERP. And why she should learn ERP? There are certain benefits. An entrepreneur, he can also learn ERP. Why? Because to manage the resources, everything. I mean, whatever the resources that belongs to his business, he can manage them. Then who can? I mean, it is for students, professionals, employees, homemakers, entrepreneurs, anyone. Anyone can learn ERP. There is no boundary that you need the background qualification or basic qualification on so and so topic. Anyone, even a nursing staff, even a health worker can need to learn ERP to perform better process. So then the key takeaways: you can enter into the world of ERP, you can enhance your knowledge, you can manage your resources, you can manage the function that you are performing in an entity, choose a better career, and then decide whether to get into the ERP and enhance your skill set or gain your knowledge, whatever. So before we start, first we have to understand what exactly the ERP is. If you go by the definition, there are three components in ERP. The first one is enterprise. What is an enterprise? Anything can be an enterprise. Even a household, if you think of defining your household, you can define that as an enterprise. If you want to manage, if you want to organize, if you want to structureize your house also, you can put an ERP. Even the housewife is called a ERP practitioner because of the way she manages, maintains, and structurizes things in the house. So anything small and middle business, private limited, public sector, government, any entity, I mean charitable trust. Now, earlier there was a confusion that whether ERP is only for those who are making the profit or it is for everyone. It is for everyone. Schools, clubs, everywhere you see ERP. Why ERP? Because of there are certain benefits. So the enterprise who should go for ERP? Answer is everyone. And what enterprise does? The resources. What is a resource? What exactly the entity owner or the business owner manages, that is the resource. Now, to understand the resource in a better way, we have a subsequent slide with more details and an innovative way to explain the resource we have identified for those who have not yet started looking at the resource. Everybody knows what is resource, but from ERP point of view, we have done some research, and based on our experience, we have put the resource into certain categories. We will discuss that in subsequent slide. So, whatever resource, I mean, you are going to manage, you are going to engage, you are going to, get your business some output. Everything is a resource for you. Now, planning. Why planning is important? Optimization. You want to optimize your resources, better use of your resources, maximize your profit, then control the business process. Either you control or your entity enterprise owner controls through you. You are taking care of one or two functions. Through your skill set, he is controlling the entire enterprise. So this is the combination or the component of ERP. First, the enterprise, then the resources. Third is the planning, ERP. Now, enterprise, we don't have to talk much because everybody knows about an enterprise. We'll talk about resource. In next slide, our innovation or through our experience, we have identified the 7M theory of enterprise resources. Now, 7M, you can see man without some idea, who generates the idea, who monitors the business, everything, who funds the business through his money or shareholding, whatever. So the first resource is the man. One is the person who is initiating this idea of doing the business, and then the people who are working to manage the entire business as an employee, as an partner, everybody. So that comes under man. Then money, obviously, without money, you cannot do business. Then you should have some methodologies. What do you want to do? Whether you want to do something, some enterprise which will engage manual, activities, or it will be engaged with some machinery, some materials, some input, some output. So you will decide the methodology. The third issues. Then if you are manufacturing something, then machine is the next resource because without machine, you cannot do your business. That is a resource. That is a resource. Then you have, if you have the machine, then you cannot run a machine with your material. So material, again, there are two type of material, your raw material and finished product. So input and output, both comes under the resource called material. Then if the next one, you have produced your material, you have produced your goods, or you have designed your service, you should have a market. So market, again, there are two type of market. One is buying market and the other one is selling market. When you have the buying market, you have procurement system. When you have selling market, you have the CRM. You have to deal with your customer. Now, finally, the management. Why management is required? Everything. I mean, all the six resources is being managed by a super resource called management. That's the reason you have CFOs, CEOs, CTOs, CIOs, CPOs, Chief Production Officer, Chief People Officer. So management is also part of this because the decision making will lie with the management. Now, we will explore little more in our next slide why we need this and how this 7M came to the picture. Industry 1.0, it's long back. I mean, 1800th century when we had the industrial revolution where manual things were getting into machines. Then we had machines, but little more, automated. That is two industry 2.0. Sorry, there is a mistake, 2.0. Then 10 years back we were in industry 3.0. where we started robotics and a lot of things to automate certain things to reduce the human intervention. What is the next or the current one we are in the process? That is your IoT, Internet of Things, cloud, everything. You don't need, your system is getting upgraded with latest technologies and tools. So that is how initially it started with man money methodology. Then the machine came. When there was production, more production, they thought of, okay, we'll go outside. The market came. Then the methodologies and the new technologies came with, like, analytics. You have IoT. You have data science. Everything got into the methodology. The ERP became now bigger and bigger. Now, the basic question, why everybody thinks that, okay, if I learn ERP, I should be a commerce student, I should be a accountant, or I should be a so and so HRMS guy. But it's not like that. Everyone is going to ERP. Now, why that everyone is going? Every function in an organization is a part of the ERP system. That is something we will see in our next slide. See. So further, if we drill down what men have, we have HRMS system, human capital management system, compensation, benefit, training, development, money. Then you have accounting, receivables, payables, cash management, assets, then methodology. What is the structure? What is the business process? So everything, every course that you do, whether you are an engineer, whether you are a doctor, whether you are a finance guy, whether you are a MBA, everybody is going to use the ERP. Either today, as a junior employee, you will have to handle the material, or tomorrow when you grow as a CEO, CPO, you will have to use the ERP. You cannot live without ERP because no organization today have a system where the things are handled manually. No organization, not even a smaller shop, medicine shop you go, they have a laptop or they have a system. They enter what is the stock they have, what is the stock they need. So, irrespective what study, what is your educational qualification, you need a ERP system. Think about a person who is a pharmaceutical, person doing some medicine research on medicine. Do you think without ERP his life is going to be easy? Difficult. Can he measure 1 ml of a component or an ingredient that need to be part of 1 gram of a medicine? No. It's IoT and ERP which does that activity for him, and he or she have to give the instruction to the ERP system so that 1 ml is getting inserted into that medicine. Health, even you take the example of healthcare industry. Go to hospital. Do you think, the ICU is running by a man? No, it's run by a machine, and that is integrated with the ERP system. So ERP system takes care of everything today. You get a message today, you get a SMS today, you get a mail, automated, some alerts. Everything is being handled by ERP. That's the reason sometimes people say it is the software of softwares. Okay. Now, these functions, if you are going to perform these functions and your qualification, because you should correlate that what is my education and what is the functions that we have in ERP system. Now, if you want to check that, before checking that, you should see what is the integrated system, because all these seven M's are integrated. The functions of these seven sub are integrated with each other, and if you integrate them, the picture will look like this. Okay, each of the function is linked with the other. No doubt you are a mechanical engineer. Perfect. What will happen? You have to order the consumables. Where it will go? The finance person. The finance person will have to make the payment, then only you will get the consumables or anything that you need in your shop floor or production floor. HRMS. If the HRMS doesn't help you hire people, can you do the production? No. Can you go for the marketing? No. So it is interlinked. It's a package of all the functions that you have in a modern enterprise or modern organization. Okay. Now, the same thing, if you put against the qualification or the education that you have taken. Okay. So being an ERP, the next is what you will do as a ERP. What are the roles available? Just take a note with a date that even if you do not learn today ERP, after 15 years, you have to handle the ERP. Why? Because every entity, every enterprise is using ERP, and you will have to go there as an end user. Even if you are entering the office or entering any organization that is being handled by the ERP. So you will be a functional owner. What a functional owner will do? He will enter the data as an accountant. He will design the plans in AutoCAD or RF Smart. Okay, that is integrated with the ERP system. Okay, as an end user, that day-to-day process will be handled through ERP only. Now, being an end user, suppose you are getting into, say, Maruti Udyog or some other manufacturing, there you become specific, your role is specific to automobile industry. Now think of the specialist. As a specialist or as a consultant, you will have exposure to the entire industry. Entire industry in the sense today you are working for a say manufacturing entity. Tomorrow you will get to work with an enterprise who is running a club. So if you know the functions and features, you become the specialist. Okay, so the role is better there in the specialist where you have access to the industry, where you have knowledge on the entire industry instead of having on only one specific industry as a end user. Now, if you as an end user, even if you do not upgrade yourself with the latest ERP system functions and features, then the next day your organization is going to say you thank you very much. We have a better person with better knowledge to handle these processes through the ERP, so you can step down. Now, think of okay, you are not going to work as an employee or as a consultant. You want to start your enterprise, your own enterprise, as a startup or as a innovator. There also you need the enterprise, ERP system. Because how do you control your system? How do you control your people as a enterprise? That is also okay. So there are three roles that you can perform as an end user, as a specialist, as an enterprise. Okay. The next one, the next one is what you have studied and how do you match your education with the function that you are going to own in an enterprise and the functions that are available on ERP system. So the scope of ERP, either you can take that as a skill. If you take that as a skill, yes, you will be a good employee of the organization handling the processes. You are handling, you have to handle sometimes the recruitment, sometimes the maintenance, sometimes based on your specialization or the education that you have taken. Okay, so this is the mapping of education, the function of an enterprise, and then the functions and features of an ERP system. So this is just for example, there are hundreds of functions and features, but you have to decide that what function you will be doing in future and whether you want to grow as a decision maker in that function. or designer of that function, then you become a consultant. Okay. Now, the next one, what we have next is basically what are the ERP systems we have in the market. So we have Oracle, depending on the size of the entity, depending upon the requirement of an entity, you can decide what ERP system you want to learn or you know take as an entrepreneur or study to make your career. So there are certain ERP systems which are applicable for enterprise, and ERP systems like Microsoft Dynamics, Odoo, QuickBook. These are Epic, or these are all small and enterprise, small and middle enterprise, like small factories, shops, and all. Just like we have one Tally in India. Okay. So that's all I have for today. The next session we will start with Oracle, because that is our prime objective, Oracle, and that too Oracle Fusion. Any questions? Any concerns? You can reach us ERP bugs, and we are available on LinkedIn, Facebook, Insta, and YouTube. Thank you.